Is it time for tougher, clearer messaging as well as mandatory masks for all indoor spaces, excluding eateries, of course, instead of the patchwork approach we're seeing where each business or TransLink or whoever has their own policy? Because I think the problem is mask-wearing behavior isn't being normalized or made routine the way that things stand right now.
Good question. And certainly when I can't physical distance, particularly when I'm indoors, I wear a mask. I recommend that to the bells that are ringing. I think there's one more. No, there's not. So I recommend that. Dr. Henry can fill in any of the gaps here. But it's our view that we don't want people to believe that masks will be an invincibility shield for them. It is one of the tools of many tools that Dr. Henry's laid out for the public. Physical distancing, keeping your hands clean, making sure if you're sick, for goodness sakes, do not go out. These are fundamental issues, and if we stay fast to those issues, we will be fine. Masks are a component part of that. I'm pleased to see public transportation companies like TransLink and BC Transit are encouraging and in fact directing their patrons to wear masks. I think that's appropriate. Other issues around how masks should be used, I think, are better answered by the Public Health Authority, who's right here, so I'll pass it to her.
Sure, and thank you for that. I actually do think masks are becoming normalized in many communities, and I certainly see it myself. And as we progress and open up more, it's going to become important. I don't believe, and I've said this many times, that having a public mandate is the way to go in terms of masks, because it may indicate, as we were talking about, that people may think that this is a shield. That means you don't have to do the other things. We know that physical distancing works. We know that keeping your contacts small works. We know that in settings like schools that are very controlled, we can put in place layers of measures that protect us. And we've said from the very beginning, personal protective equipment like masks in the community are the last line of defense, and they should be worn when you can't maintain those physical distances. But we also need to remember that we need to be inclusive. There are reasons why people cannot wear masks, and we need to ensure that they can get the services and the care they need as well. I will also say that we are now, we are looking at where these transmission events are happening as part of our case management, contact tracing, outbreak management across the province. And where we're seeing transmission are events and places where people would not wear masks, so private parties, for example. Where they are being mandated in some of the businesses where we've had outbreaks, it's because other things weren't being done as well. So the mask by itself is not something that's going to stop all transmission from happening, but it certainly is one of those layers in some situations.